I'm live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nick's Wednesday night quiz. It's that time again. It's 8 o'clock. I hope you've all had a good day, as I have. Not that we've done an awful lot today, but managed to get out in the car and visit one or two places, obviously to have a stretch of our legs, as you do in these times of COVID. So then, tonight we've got 6 rounds of tricky trivia just to keep you all entertained as usual. Starting off with a very straightforward Wednesday the 24th of Feb. Round number 2 tonight will be art and literature round, round number 3 tonight is a connections round, which is pretty straightforward, followed by an initial letter link, which I know you all love, don't you? Round number 5 tonight is entitled TV and Film, nice and straightforward, nothing too testing there. And then a general trivia round to keep you going, So let's see who's joined us already tonight. George is saying, hey, Nick. Good evening, George. Hope all is well with you. I'm just enjoying my unknown beer again, which is nearly gone now, so I'll have to be on to something else soon, but never mind. Well, I wonder which will be the first beer festival of the year, which we're actually allowed to go to. Good news, generally good news from Boris Johnson, trying to steer us out of this dreadful pandemic of ours, if ever there was a way out of it. But never mind, 18 million people now vaccinated. I haven't had my own vaccine, and I must be getting to that age where they invite me surely along to have a vaccine, but never mind, perhaps I'm not that old. I just look it, I know, but never mind. Anyway, what's everybody been up to today? That's the interesting thing. Right, Mike Yates has just joined us. Good evening, Mike. Hope all is well with you and you've had a decent day. Ian Miller's also joining us. Good evening, Ian. Great to see you keep posting pictures of cars on there. I like those. What's that? Have you had the cat's pregnancy test results yet? Is that referring to my singing? Is it, Robin? Thank you. I did. Do remember, Robin, you are on my watch list for people that will be struck off my Christmas card list. You and Jackie Skip, who have been very rude about my singing in the past. But never mind, let's see whether we can get away with no singing tonight. That, of course, is dependent on whether it's anybody's birthday. So do feel free, if it's your birthday or it's one of your team's birthday anytime soon, do feel free to just put something up. So Martin Davis has just joined us. He's saying, hi, Nick and Lydia. For one night only, Team Desperate of Dunchurch are poised. New members, Steve and Fiona. Great to see you, Steve and Fiona. Hope you're going to partake and give them some help tonight. They desperately needed it. Well, Martin has anyway, desperately needed it. Since his little bout of COVID, he hasn't been able to concentrate properly on the quiz at all, but never mind. Anyway, no, sorry, Martin, but it's great to see you joining them. So does that mean you're going to be a team of 6? Are you joining up with the Yelvertoft 2 as well, Martin, or are you just a foursome tonight? Faye's just joined us as well. Good evening, Faye. Hope all is well with you. Saying hello all. What's this? No, you remember Sunday when I commented on the colour of your beer? Sorry, yes. Yes, you did indeed, and it's the same colour, you'll be surprised to know, because it's the same beer. Although, well, it's not exactly the same beer. Obviously, this is a new batch of the beer that I consumed. Right, we've got PRS just joining us. Good evening, PRS. And PRS, I'm pleased to say, are on my Christmas card list, simply because, of course, they do like my singing and think it's great and would enjoy more if only I could. But never mind, we don't want to drive everybody away, do we? Georgie has just joined us. Good evening, Georgie and Rory. Hope all is well. She's saying hello from the Yorkies. So hello to all of you up north. And I hope you're feeling a bit happier now that maybe there is a path out of COVID, the dreaded COVID. Ian saying, not recycled. Well, oh, no, the beer's not recycled. It might look like it, but it's not. No, Yelvertoft, only away for one night. Right. Not quite sure. 66% of PRS like your singing. 2/3 is better than nothing at all, isn't it? Never mind. Give us a tune, you see, says PRS. What should I sing for you? Come on, river. No, we won't. Now then, this afternoon, yes, we decided at lunchtime to take ourselves a picnic over just outside where did we go to, Angela? Ravensthorpe, which is a very nice little reservoir just outside Rugby. We thought we'd have a look at the ducks, as you do, you know, the wildlife generally. And after about 45 minutes sitting in the car, eating our picnic, we decided to go off for a little walk down the path. Now, the path, as you can imagine, is just a mud bath, really, all the way along. And it suddenly struck me that horses or something, some kind of animals had been stomping about in this mud, making a right mess. I then remembered some marvellous shoes that you could buy way back in the 60s called, what were they called, Angela? They were called Wayfinders. Now, Wayfinders, for all those of you who have never heard of Wayfinders, well, I had to chuckle to myself, and I had the wife chuckling as well, because I remember the days. Apparently these shoes, they did 3 different types of Wayfinders. They became very popular in the 60s because the soles of these shoes had very interesting marks on them, which allowed you to identify any imprint in mud that you might have passed on a muddy path. For instance, if you saw these little things that looked like Stoat's footsteps, you could then stand on one leg, turn your foot over so you could see the other side of the sole of your boot, wipe the mud off, and then you might be able to identify the footprint of the silly thing that you were trying to find out what on earth it was. And if that, so of course, if you're going in the right direction, they also had another secret device in there called a compass. This was, again, just in case you got lost in the woods. It was apparently these shoes were designed to bring children a bit closer to the outdoor and allow them to adventure out. So just in case you got lost in the middle of the woods, you could take your shoe off, you could point it in a northerly direction, and then you'd know where the hell you were going. Yes, very interesting. Now, I'd be very interested to know how many of you boys that still remember the marvellous Wayfinders, can remember what all those marks were on the bottom, because I was going to put it in the quiz, but I thought, no, that's too silly. We won't do any of that. Anyway, that was a silly story I was thinking of only this afternoon. I had to look it up, of course, you know what it's like on the internet, just to see what was going on. Right then, let me just go through some scores from last week, because we had some cracking scores last week. As always, PRS and Quizzy Rascals were number 1 and number 1 respectively, on a very fantastic 59 points, actually. Not bad considering I think it was out of 64, maybe. Split the difference from the teasers. They were in second place, equal again last week on 58 points. Another fantastic score. Then we had a little bit of a 3-way tie. We had the Will Shield 2. We had Harry, Julie and Ian in his bottle of Shiraz, and Jed and Tracy all on a very respectable 56 points. Then we had on 54 points, so we had the Latham House Lockdown, and they were hotly pursued on 52 points by Pick and Mix and Carol Graham. So from some fantastic scores last week, and well done all of you. I think you'll all find the quiz a little bit easier tonight, and I'm expecting everybody to be getting top scores, but we'll see. Right, Clive and Janet have joined us. The teasers, they're saying hi, Nick and everybody from a soggy Stockton. Well, it wasn't too wet here today. We've been overcast a lot of the day, I thought. Started off quite bright. It's been very windy, which has been very good for electricity production for us people that rely on the wind to bring down our electricity prices. Pick and Mix have just joined us. Good evening, Pick and Mix. I hope you heard I gave you a mention, 52 points last week. Let's see how we can do this week. It's great to see you. And I hope you've enjoyed the news that the pubs might be opening again soon. Jen and Tracy have joined us. They're going to come and join in with the fun tonight. Claire Naidu has just joined us to say, Claire and Andy joining us tonight. Great to see you, Claire. Hope all is well with you too. I hope you'll enjoy tonight's quiz. It's pretty straightforward. You mark your own and you just keep putting things in the chat. Do feel free to put some jokes down if you come up with any witty banter you like. I'm quite happy for people to just post what they like on. It's not too rude. We're happy with that. Now then, what was Robin saying? It was so convenient, wasn't it? Well, wait a minute, I'm not sure what you're talking about though. Probably the shoes, yes. Very convenient, wasn't it, to take one off to decide which direction you were pointing in. Face Justin, how long is the walk around the reservoir, Nick? Well, if you go all the way around, it's probably no more than about a mile. It's certainly less than Daventry Park. But it's very muddy and we only got a few hundred yards and turned back again, to be fair. We probably got a quarter of a mile and turned round and then came back. But yeah, it's a nice jaunt around there. It was very windy today, I have to say. Penny Graham's just joined us. She's saying, good evening, Nick. Hope all is well. And it is. So thank you very much for saying so, Penny. I hope all is well with you. Famous Five have just joined us. Great to see you, John. And Hilary, I hope all is well and you are keeping fit and well. You'll have to let me know whether any of you lot have had your jabs yet. Giffords have just joined us. Hello and good evening from a balmy Upper Toft. Well, it's been quite balmy. That is one thing we could have said today. It was about 15 degrees most of the day today, which is excellent. Evening, Lids. Anne Anderson's just joined us. So good evening from Anne and Dave in sunny Essex. Well, yes, it's probably been sunnier than it has in Rugby today. As I say, Rugby's had quite a lot of overcast weather. It started quite nicely, but it got progressively worse. Great White's just joined us tonight. So goody, he says, great. Good day. Great White back now living in Victoria, Vancouver Island from Toronto. Been a bit busy. Well, that's fair enough. I can't blame you if you've been moving about. It's great to see you back online, Great White. I hope you do well tonight in the quiz. We'll have to see 6 rounds of just general rubbish to keep us going, as usual. The Quizzy Rascals have just joined us. I did mention, Paula, last week you were joint winners on 59 points with PRS. Fantastic score, but we'll see whether that can be beaten tonight. Jackie's just joined us. Good evening, Jackie. Hope all is well with you. An evening all. And Carol Green has also just joined us. Our Cornish tyke here. Carol, you came in with a very respectable 52 points last week. Let's see whether that can be beaten tonight. I'm sure we probably can. Mick Robertson just joined us. Mick and Bev and Home Alone 6 are also just joined the fray. So good evening, Home Alone 6. Better late than never. We are here. Well, that's what I like to see. And Home Alone 6, they also managed 51 points last week, which was excellent. Now, do feel free at any time, if you like this evening, to hit the like button on your screen if you like the quiz. The more likes I get, the better. I start appearing on Google and places like that. Not that I want to, not that it bothers me at all, but it's nice if people can search and find the quiz nice and easily. So the more likes we get, the more likely are that Google will take me seriously, if that makes any sense. So do feel free to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to Pewey1957, which is my YouTube channel, even just with a simple subscribe button. Now, we'll be doing a quiz on Sunday night. I have been asked to do a quiz next Friday night. This is going to be a sports quiz. Not that I'm any good at sports, but it's really for rugby football, and that's FC, Rugby FC. They want a 6-round quiz on Friday night. So if anybody fancies a little sports quiz on Friday night, if you're really bored to death and you have not had enough of me after 2 quizzes a week, you can always come and join us next Thursday as well. I mean, Friday evening. He says, no. Right, Ian's what's just, Faye's just saying, we've moved, said Great White. Yes, we moved over to Vancouver. That was fantastic. It's a different time zone as well now, I expect. Faye's just saying, been working today and now enjoying a well-deserved New Zealand Chardonnay. Excellent. That sounds good. Almond cider from New Zealand, berries and cherries. Well, that sounds interesting as well, Ian. Oliver Williams has just joined us. Evening all, Ollie here, Lone Wolf. Well, great to see you, Oliver. It's great to see you. I hope you're going to enjoy tonight's quiz. 6 rounds of straightforward trivia to keep us going. Once my daughter has downloaded the quiz, are you getting anywhere near, Lids? My daughter's only just turned up, so I'm hoping that she's going to quickly flash her computer up and we can get some questions up in the chat column any minute. From the collection. Now that's a very good joke. Roy starts off. Frankie Boyle used to be quite an angry and bitter comic, but then he went on the Culture Club therapy course. Now he's a calmer comedian. Oh dear God, that's dreadful. Well done, Roy. That's a great joke to start off. Chris has said good evening also. Good evening to you, Chris. Hope all is well. And I wonder how that knee of yours is. Right, we've got 57 people so far signed on to do the Wednesday night quiz, which is good. 58 now. We are going to start the quiz in a minute or two's time. For all those that haven't done the quiz before, all you've got to do is get yourself a pen and paper, get your drinks to hand ready. We'll just do, each round is 10 questions, with the exception of round number 1, which is in fact 16 questions tonight, but never mind. It spells out the word Wednesday, 24, TH, Feb, F-E-B. So Wednesday, the 24th of Feb, we take the initial letter and or number of those 16 letters and numbers, and they are the initial letters of each of your answers, if that makes any sense whatsoever. We've been doing it every week, but tonight is an exception because there are 16 letters. Never mind. I went a bit mad as I was typing it and then realised again that I've done more than I needed to. Carol Green's just said, my grandson has just been offered a 3-year contract with Exeter Chefs. Excellent. Well, Exeter Chiefs, sorry. Fantastic. Well done, him. Ian's just said he's on, what's he, coffee after 2 glasses of Dalwhinnie 43% Speyside whiskey. Oh dear God. Are you going to be capable of doing this tonight, Ian? Let's hope so. Right, it's 2015. It's time to get started. I don't know, is my daughter ready? Are you ready, Lydia? Just about. We'll just give her the benefit of the doubt for a second. So if anybody else wants to come up with a quick, what's that? Giving me stick today. That's the knee, is it, Chris? Chris is suffering with a bad knee. Very nice, Ian. Yes, that does sound nice, actually. Dalwhinnie, 43% Speyside whiskey. Isn't it 90% of all Scotch whiskies come from the River Spey? Well, not actually from the River Spey, but the water used is from the River Spey, apparently. Sarah's just joining us. She's saying we're here, been chatting. Sorry, that's fine. Great to see you on board, Sarah and Russ. Hope all is well with you, and hope that Worcester can get a beer festival organised for later in the year. I don't know. Do you know? I can't remember what month of the year it is. Was it July? That's probably a bit soon, isn't it? Can't you see whether the local camera branch will get one organised for November or something? A bit later in the year. Come along. Mind you, that might be too late. Right then, everybody, enough chatting. It's time to start the quiz. So first round tonight is entitled August. Maybe. Oh, great white. We're joining by Chepstow. They didn't move. Well, that's fair enough. Well, you can't both move at the same time unless they were moving to join you, I suppose, but never mind. Right then, first round. And the first answer starts with the letter W, as in Wednesday, the 24th of Feb. Starting with the letter W, one we've been talking about already, Ian. Discounting Tango, which is the only beverage that represents a letter in the NATO phonetic alphabet. So question number 1 again, discounting Tango, which is the only beverage that represents a letter in the NATO phonetic alphabet. Do remember, for any newcomers, that starts with the letter W, as in Wednesday. And if you're not clear on earth what we do, question number 2 starts with the letter E, as in Wednesday, the second letter. You get the idea. Right, question number 2, starting with the letter E. At which UK visitor attraction would you find the largest indoor rainforest in the world? It's a 2-word answer, pretty straightforward, I'm sure. Most of you might have been there. E by Gormere, that's a good one. E lad. So question 2 again, at which UK visitor attraction would you find the largest indoor rainforest in the world? That starts with the letter E and it's a 2-word answer. Question number 3, this starts with the letter D, as in Wednesday, W-E-D for number 3. On the night of the 13th and 14th of February 1945, 773 RAF Lancaster bombers dropped 1,181 tons of incendiary bombs and 1,477 tons of high explosives on which German city? Didn't want to be there, did we? So starting with the letter D, on the night of the 13th, 14th February 45, 773 RAF Lancaster bombers dropped lots of incendiary bombs and lots of high explosive bombs on which German city? Just about completely destroyed the inside of the city, apparently, or the city centre, as they call it. Question number 4 starts with the letter N, as in Wednesday. Letter N, a 2-word answer. What is the popular 2-word name given to the star internationally classified as Alpha Ursa Minoris? So what is the popular 2-word name given to the star, that star in the sky, internationally classified as Alpha Ursa Minoris? Good at your Latin, you'll work that one out pretty straightforward. 2-word answer starting with the letter N. Although I suppose I don't really need the second word, but that's what it's known as. Can be seen on most nights of the year, weather permitting, weather permitting even, unless you live in Australia, of course, then it might be tricky. Right, question number 5, starting with the letter E. Starting with the letter E. Question number 5. No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain, girl. I'm leaving you tomorrow are the opening lines of which 1977 hit by the Commodores? That is just a one-word answer, pretty straightforward, starting with the letter E. So question number 5 again. No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain, girl. I'm leaving you tomorrow are the opening lines of which 1977 hit by the Commodores? Perhaps giving you too much information there, I know, but never mind. Let's keep the quiz nice and easy. Sing it. Oh dear. Royce just said, did you hear about the bed bugs that fell in love? They're getting married in the spring. Oh dear, very nice, Roy. Very good indeed. No, don't, says Jackie. Now, Jackie, you've already been warned once about not liking my singing. You were supposed to praise my singing. What? I think it's about time PRS had that. Right then, everybody. Question number 6. What word is derived from the name of a French finance minister who, in 1759, imposed severe economic demands upon the French people? His name became synonymous with anything done with portrait profiles cut from black card. It's a one-word answer, starting with the letter S. That was his name. Something I didn't know, but there we have it. Mr. something or other. So what word is derived from the name of a French finance minister who, in 1759, imposed severe economic demands upon the French people, a bit like Boris? His name became synonymous with anything done with portrait profiles cut from black card. Quite why, I don't know, but I did try reading it all, but it was getting a bit boring, so I gave up on that one. Question number 7, starting, what's that? Damn neighbour kept playing the same Lionel Richie song over and over at full blast. I wouldn't mind normally, but it was all night long. Now that's a good one as well, Fly. Well, jokes are coming good and thick and fast tonight. Keep them coming. Question number 7, another musical question. Bootylicious is a 2001 song by which American girl group, which was taken from their 3rd studio album, Survivor? Did I pronounce that correctly or not? So Bootylicious is a 2001 song from which American girl group, which was taken from their 3rd studio album, Survivor. That starts with the letter D, and it's a 2-word answer, surprisingly. Good, I'm glad you're all keeping up with this. Right, question number 8. This starts with the letter A. For anybody that's never done the quiz before, have I got to sing this? Ordained as a Catholic priest in 1960. Oh, sorry, you meant the previous song. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant sing the question. No, right, Faye, we'll start off with question number 8 then. Ordained as a Catholic priest in 1969. What is the nationality of the current head of the Catholic Church, Pope John Francis? So question number 8 again. Ordained as a Catholic priest in 1969. What is the nationality of the current head of the Catholic Church, Pope John Francis? Apparently one of his previous jobs, he was a nightclub bouncer at one time. Interesting what you read, isn't it? Right, question number 9, starting with the letter Y. Can't be too difficult, this one. Observing the tree's qualities of longevity and regeneration, the Druids held which tree as sacred in pre-Christian times? I'll put the word tree in there twice. I shouldn't have done that. So, observing the tree's qualities of longevity and regeneration, the Druids held which tree as sacred in pre-Christian times? Looking for a new team member. Jackie wants a new team member just in case anybody's looking forward. Face taste is awful. Oh dear. Right then, starting with the number 2. Listen carefully. This starts with the number 2. It could be a 2-digit, 3-digit, whatever. How many Earth years does it take for the planet Saturn to complete one revolution of the Sun? I'm going to give you the choice. Is it 2.8 years, 28 years, or 288 years? So if the Earth goes around once like that, how many times does it take Saturn to go around? You know? So how many Earth years does it take for the planet Saturn to complete one revolution of the Sun? I'll give you the choice. Is it 2.8 years, 28 years, or 288 years? Clearly, they're all longer than our year. But which one are you going to plump for? So I worked on the door of a nightclub in Blackburn a few years ago. There was a submarine, everyone kept saying dive, dive, dive. You didn't work on the door with Pope John Francis, did you? I don't think you worked there, mind you, different country. Never mind. Question number 11 starts with the number 4. Pretty straightforward quiz question. How many dots in total would you find on a pair of standard dice? So how many dots in total would you find on a pair of standard dice? Or die? Just when you thought the round couldn't go on much longer, it's carrying on a bit because we've got to get past the T, the H, and then February, of course. So starting with the letter T, which is the second longest river that can be wholly found in England and is only second in length after the Thames? I'll put the second in there twice again, haven't I? So which is the second longest river that can be wholly found in England and is only second in length after the Thames? Starts with the letter T. It can't be that hard, so we'll crack on with number 13, which is a little more testing. Often known as, this is question number 13, starting with the letter H. H for Harry. Often known as Indy in the movies, what is the actual first name of Indiana Jones? Well, that's his actual fictional name. So, often known as Indy in the movies, what is the actual first name of Indiana Jones? Not a lot of people know this one. I wonder why they called him Indy. That'll be a good reason for that. Somebody's going to tell me any minute. Right then, 3 to go. Number 14, starting with the letter F, which will help you a lot. Now manufactured by Cadbury's, what was a chocolate bar launched in the UK in 1914 by Bristol chocolate manufacturer? It has been advertised as full of Eastern promise. Ah, he was named after the dog. Of course he was. Of course he was. Well spotted, boys. So question 14 again. Now manufactured by Cadbury's, what was a chocolate bar launched in the UK in 1914 by a Bristol chocolate manufacturer? It has been advertised as full of Eastern promise. Starts with the letter F, that's the manufacturer, followed by the bottom, whatever else. Question number 15 starts with the letter E, which will help you enormously. Listen, the letter E. This starts with the letter E. The berries of which plant of the genus Sambucus is used to make a tea, syrup, and a port or a wine? I think it means a syrup, really, rather than syrup, rather than tea syrup. So question 15 again, the berries of which plant of the genus Sambucus is used to make a tea, a syrup, and a port or wine? It can be used in the manufacture of Sambuca, of course, but it isn't generally, apparently. And finally, question number 16, starting with the letter B. Apparently after this sketch, this TV sketch, apparently somebody actually died by laughing too much at this sketch, but never mind. Question number 16, the secret Lancashire martial art known as Eki Thump mostly revolves around hitting unsuspecting people with what food items whilst wearing flat caps and braces? So just looking for the name of the food item. So the secret Lancashire martial art known as Eki Thump mostly revolves around hitting unsuspecting people with what food items whilst wearing flat caps and braces? My neck of the woods. Yeah, it was reported apparently after the first showing of that, some guy actually died of laughter. If you can die of laughter, I suppose it was a heart attack or something, but never mind. It's the way to go, I suppose. That's the way to go. Right, you should now have 16 answers. They should spell out, the initial letters of each of your answers should spell out Wednesday, 24th of Feb. So you might want to scan down your answers, just make sure they spell out the word Wednesday, the 24th of Feb. And after a second or two, we will do some marking. So just give me a second. Quickly have another swig of my beer. Right then, let's do some marking, see how I've all done. It was a particularly tough round, but might be one or two there that caught you out. We'll see. So discounting Tango, the letter, of course, in the phonetic alphabet that I wanted, which is also the name of the drink, is whiskey. Whiskey. Number 2 was the Eden Project, which apparently has the largest indoor rainforest in the world. Number 3, that city that was flattened by the RAF was Dresden in Germany. Dresden. Dreadful night they had as well. Number 4, Ursa Alpha Minoris, or the small bear. The Alpha is the lead star, is the North Star, the North Star. Number 5, of course, that hit was called Easy by the Commodores. That was easy, wasn't it? Number 6 is a silhouette. It was Mr. Silhouette, apparently, the French finance minister. You have to do a bit of reading to find out why they started making things black and white, but I'm sure you can figure that one out. Bootylicious was, of course, by Destiny's Child. Number 8 is he's an Argentinian, apparently, Pope John Francis. Number 9, the tree I wanted was the U. Number 10, it takes 28 years, apparently, for Saturn to go round the sun in one orbit. Number 11 is 42 dots on a standard pair of dice. Number 12, of course, was the River Trent. Number 13, his name was Henry. This was India, as in Indiana. His first name was Henry Walton Jones Jr. Well, you all knew that, didn't you? Henry was what I was after. Number 14, of course, was Fry's Turkish Delight. My wife used to love that. In fact, still does if she can get her hands on it sometimes, if we see it around. And finally, number 15 was the elderberry. The elderberry, which is a plant of the genus Sambucus. Apparently, it can be used in Sambuca. I did look that up, but it's not on the list of things that have to be in it. Apparently, it's nearly always made of star anise, apparently, Sambuca. Anyway, that's by the by. Right, then let's have some scores in, see how we've all fared after that first round. We've got 67 teams playing tonight, which is a great turnout for a Wednesday night. The quizzes have stayed very popular, which I can't understand at all, but never mind. The black pudding question. Yes, it was black pudding, Ian. Have we not put that down? Oh, yes. Oh, 14, 15. Now down there now. It's all right. Don't worry. There's a bit too much to write down, I think. So Oliver's straight off with a 16. Well played, Oliver. Right, Great White. Not bad after a layoff. 14. We've got Dave Anderson on 14. We've got Ian, Harry, Julian, Ian, and Still on Coffee on 16. Desperate and Dunchurch, Full House on 16. PRS are on 16. Sarah and our friends are on 16. We've got the Giffords on 16. Oliver Williams is on 14. Latham House Lockdown's on 16. Jen and Tracy are on 15. We've got Georgia and the Yorkies on 15. Famous Five are on 16. Home Alone 6 are on 16. Emailers on 15. Pick a Mix are on 15. The Quizzy Rascals are on 16. Carol Green's on 14. Mike Yates is on 13. Great White, he's saying oops, they're on 15 points. The Teasers are on 16. Michelle's on 14. Claire is on 13. Penny Graham's on 11. We've got the Movie Prize Girls on 14 points. So some great scores in that first round. Well played, everybody. Do remember the first round was out of 16. So just make sure you got your scores right. You have added them up correctly. But well done. Split the difference also with 16 points. So a lot of teams haven't dropped a point with the first round. Now, round number 2 tonight is entitled Art and Literature. Art and Literature, it might sound a bit highbrow, but this is not University Challenge, you'll be pleased to know. Nor is it the dreaded black chair. But anyway, so everybody should know most of this. So question number 1, round number 2, Art and Literature. Question number 1, Down the Rabbit Hole, The Queen's Croquet Ground, and Who Stole the Tarts are all chapter titles from which 1865 novel? So question 1 again, Down the Rabbit Hole, The Queen's Croquet Ground, and Who Stole the Tarts are all chapter titles from which 1865 novel? Question number 2 is just a period of time I'm after. In recent times, poet laureates of the United Kingdom have been appointed on a fixed term of how many years? So in recent times, poet laureates of the United Kingdom have been appointed on a fixed term of how many years? You'll be pleased to know it's a nice round number. Well, not quite sure what you call a round number, except a 0, I suppose. But never mind. Question number 3, something to do with art somewhere. Which jewellery company was founded in St. Petersburg in 1842 and is famous for a series of jewelled eggs it created for Russian Tsars? So question 3 again, which jewellery company was founded in St. Petersburg in 1842 and is famous for a series of jewelled eggs it created for Russian Tsars? Although, of course, I always remember it for aftershave. Never mind. Question number 4. Might take you back a bit. Said to be either over 500 years old. What is the name of the oldest Smurf? So said to be over 500 years old. What is the name of the oldest Smurf? I'm sure you can have a guess at that one if you don't know it. Question number 5, listen carefully. There's a big clue at the beginning of this question. It's a bit tricky, this one, but there is a big clue at the beginning. Listen carefully. Which judge from a well-known TV show has written a novel called A Serving of Scandal and a trilogy of aptly named novels called The Food of Love? So question 5 again. Which judge from a well-known TV show has written a novel called A Serving of Scandal and a trilogy of aptly named novels called The Food of Love? That kind of gives it away a bit. You might like to read that one carefully. It might help you somewhat. Question number 6. I apologise if I've had this before, because I'm sure I heard this recently, but I might have heard it on the Chase or something. So, by what nickname was Rembrandt's famous 17th century painting, The Night Watch, commonly known when it was fully restored after World War II? So question 6 again. By what nickname was Rembrandt's famous 17th century painting, The Night Watch, commonly known after it was fully restored after World War II even? World War II. Question number 7. Again, there's a clue in this one. Listen carefully. In January 2021, last month, which 73-year-old member of the royal family launched a book club on Instagram called The Reading Room? That's an interesting one. So in the January of 2021, which is presumably only a few weeks ago, which 73-year-old member of the royal family launched a book club on Instagram called The Reading Room? Question number 8. Listen carefully. It's one of those multiple choice ones, this one. Which of the following authors does not have the first name of John? I'll give you the choice. Is it J.R.R. Tolkien, J.M. Barrie, or J.B. Priestley? So which of the following authors does not have the first name of John? I'll give you the choice. Is it J.R.R. Tolkien, J.M. Barrie, or J.B. Priestley? Lydia's written them all down there for you, so if you don't know, you can have a guess at that one at least. Question number 9 is a little easier. In the Harry Potter novels, what is the name of the prison located in the middle of the North Sea where wizards who violate the laws of the British wizarding world are sent? You don't want to violate the laws of the British wizarding world, do you? So in the Harry Potter novels, what's the name of the prison located in the middle of the North Sea where wizards who violate the laws of the British wizarding world are sent? And finally, question number 10. The best-selling book in the USA in the year 2020, A Promised Land, is a memoir written by which famous ex-president? So question 10 again. The best-selling book in the United States in the year 2020, A Promised Land, is a memoir written by which famous ex-president? I suppose all ex-presidents are famous, aren't they? Some more infamous than others, or famous than others. Prince Bar. Right, I'll just give you a minute to try and work those out. Have you ever been to Brent's Bar, Clive? I suppose a bit of a prison in the middle of the North Sea. Oh dear. Right then, everybody, it's great to see so many people taking part, and obviously they're concentrating well because there's not been many jokes of late. I'm expecting Roy to dive in with a good joke, or Faye to come up with something any second now to brighten up this round. Robin's just saying, I've not been to Brent's Bar, but I've been to Rugby Asda. Oh dear, Clive's been there twice in December of 1981. Oh dear. Was that one of Joe Shell's platforms then, Brent Spar? I don't know. Bound to be if you went there. Right then, everybody, let's do some marking after that tricky, but not impossible to get all those right, I don't think. Let's see how you've fared. The art and literature round. Do remember, you mark your own. Just stick the scores in. Don't feel embarrassed or anything like that. It's all for a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun. Right, question 1. Down the rabbit hole. The Queen's Croquet Ground and Who Stole the Tarts are all they're all titles from the novel Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I'm reading the answer backwards there. So it's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Number 2, in recent times, poet laureates have served 10-year terms, a fixed 10-year term. Number 3, the famous jewellery company I was after was Fabergé. Number 4, apparently the 500-year-old in the Smurf family is better known as Papa Smurf. So number 9, I was after from the Great British Bake Off. She's a judge there. It's Prue Leith, apparently, that wrote a trilogy of aptly named novels, The Food of Love. So it's Prue Leith. Well done if you got that. That wasn't easy. Number 6, the nickname of Rembrandt's night watch was the Day Watch, surprisingly, because, of course, it was much brighter than before. Number 7 was the Duchess of Cornwall. I will accept Camilla. Camilla Parker Bowles, of course, is what we wanted. Who the 73-year-old member of the royal family who's launched a book club. Number 8, which of the following authors does not have the first name of John? That's James Matthew Barrie. James Barrie, of course. The other first names were John Ronald Rowell Tolkien and John Boynton Priestley. Yeah, just in case you didn't know. Number 9, of course, was the Prison of Azkaban. And fine, number 10, it was Barack Obama. I was after Barack Obama. So well done if you got that. It couldn't have been little, could it? Not selling in 2020. Right, there are the answers. So let's have some more scores in. See who's managed to get a full 10 out of 10 on that, or at least only drop 1 point, perhaps on Papa Smurf or something silly like that. Jed and Tracy are on 23 points. Well played, Jed and Tracy. Right then, who else is in with their scores? The Quizzy Rascals haven't dropped a point, 26 points. PRS are on 25. We've got Despot of Dunchurch on 21. Wheels came off early on that one. Ian Miller on 21. We've got Graham Gifford on 23. Cal Green's on 22. Sarah and the gang on 22. Michelle on 22. We've got Meg Roberts on 23. Dave Anderson's on 23. We've got Georgie and the Yorkies on 23 points. Oliver Williams on 21. Famous Five have moved on to 22 with the Teasers on 24 points. Latham out of lockdown, however, 25 points. And Home Alone 6 on a fantastic 26 points. Well played them. Jackie skipped the Booby Prize Girls. Terrible round, they're saying. 18 points. Penny Graham's on 17. Harry Julian in still on coffee. Plus 7 on that round with 23 points. Mike Yates is saying 16. Claire's saying, oops, 19 points. Never mind. Night Watch was also known as, what's that? Was also known as Militia Company. Was that answer to... What was the answer to the Poet Laureate? That was 10 years the Poet Laureate served in the UK. If it was known as the Militia Company and you know that Great White, give yourself a point by all means. I'm not going to argue if there is another good nickname for the same painting. Ian Sharrett on the hand, he's missing the bottle of Shiraz now. Pick a Mix on a fantastic 23 points. Well played those teams. There's still 2 teams by the sounds of it on a full 26 points, and there's a couple on 25 points. So that sorted 1 or 2 people out that round with a bit of art and literature, but never mind. Right, connections round. We have 9 questions on general knowledge, plus a final question asking for a connection between the previous 9 answers. And we've got Great White on a fantastic 24 points from Vancouver and Chepstow. So well played, Great White. Only having dropped 2 points. Right, 9 questions on general knowledge. Plus a final question asking for a connection between the previous 9 answers. We get the idea. So question 1, nice easy one. In the nursery rhyme Sing a Song of Sixpence, 4 and 20 blackbirds were baked in what? And don't put an oven. So in the nursery rhyme Sing a Song of Sixpence, 4 and 20 blackbirds were baked in a what? Question number 2. This is a bit tricky, but one you'll get. What one word connects the flavour of one of the 6 known quarks, the title of a 2009 Pixar film, and the name of a city car manufactured by Volkswagen? So that's a good one, isn't it? So question number 2, what one word connects the flavour of one of the 6 known quarks, the title of a 2009 Pixar film, and the name of a city car manufactured by Volkswagen? I could have just left you with the quark and that would have been a bit tricky, all on its own. Don't worry, there is a connection between all these, so you might be able to work them out even if you don't know. Question number 3. The national rugby union team of which country are nicknamed the Pumas? So question number 3 again, the national rugby union team of which country are nicknamed the Pumas? And I don't want Great White, you need to tell me they nicknamed something else as well, probably the Cheetahs or something. It's not the nickname I know them by. Oh dear. So just after the country for that one. Already been in the quiz earlier. Same answer. Good blimey. Giving it away. Question number 4. Meaning pretty. Meaning pretty in both Spanish and Portuguese. What is the full first name of the actress Bonnie Langford? Just need to think about that one. I'm sure you can get it if you think hard enough. So meaning pretty in both Spanish and Portuguese. What is the full first name of the actress Bonnie Langford? What's Robin put? Man United are known as the Cheetahs, are they? Aren't they? They can well be. Never mind, they play again tomorrow, Robin. I'm sure you'll be watching them. I somewhat doubt on one. Harry says great way. Question number 5. Just think of a one-word answer for this one. Usually around 0.06 millimeters, although it does get wider and a bit narrower, in width, and tracked by a stylus. What name is given to the spiral that gently leads to the centre of a vinyl record? So Robin's got another job on. He's watching paint dry tomorrow night, so he's clearly not going to watch Manchester United. Oh dear. So question 5 again, usually around 0.06 millimeters in width and tracked by a stylus. What name is given to the spiral that gently leads to the centre of a vinyl record? I know Carol was going to get that one straight away with a great knowledge of styluses and the like. Got it. What's he got? Have you got the connection? Well done. Well done. Now do remember we're looking for a connection between the previous answers, so if you can see a connection there. I'm sure question number 6 may give it away, so here we go. What colour is the second letter G in the standard version of the Google logo and was originally the colour which represented the European continent in the Olympic flag? So question 6 again, what colour is the second letter G in the standard version of the Google logo and was originally the colour which represented the European continent in the Olympic flag? Or on the Olympic flag, whatever. I think they've had to change the history of the colours on the Olympic flag now, just to be a bit more politically correct, you know. Question number 7. This is for all you Toy Story fans. Which toy from the Toy Story films has received the Patsy Montana Entertainment Award from the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame? Most ridiculous award I've ever heard, but never mind. Which toy from the Toy Story films has received the Patsy Montana Entertainment Award from the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame? So presumably the character must be a cowgirl. But what was her name? Question number 8 for all you people that like watching children's TV. Also the name of a celestial object. What is the surname of SpongeBob SquarePants' best friend Patrick? It's fairly obvious if you know what shape he is. So also the name of a celestial object. What is the surname of SpongeBob SquarePants' best friend Patrick? Question number 9, listen carefully. In 2018, Chris Evans left the BBC Radio 2 breakfast show to host the breakfast show on which other radio station? Is that because the BBC were paying him too much, I think? So in 2008, Chris Evans left the BBC Radio 2 breakfast show to host the breakfast show on which other, presumably rival radio station? And then finally, question number 10, listen carefully. What is the musical connection between the previous 9 answers? So what is the musical connection between the previous 9 answers? Right, I will give you a minute to work that one out because I know 1 or 2 of you got it, I think, straight away after question 5, which is pretty good going. Latham House Lockdown, so you got it straight in there. Well done, you. I think 1 or 2 of you have got to look over your answers. Now, do look carefully at all your answers and try and get a connection between them. And it's a kind of a musical connection. So, all right, I'll stop doing hints. I'd rather be still well done. Right, Roy, have we got any jokes? Have you written any jokes recently? Come on, there must be something going on there. I noticed Carol had posted a picture of me on Facebook. Said what a handsome chap I was earlier. Something from 30 years again. Carol Jackson had a new photo of Nicholas. Makes me laugh when this pops up in memories. It's got to be a long time ago, that. Looking on my phone now, Carol. Me in the hi-fi shop. Very dapper. Oh, I won't see it. I can't really see what I'm looking at. That's the problem. I don't even know where I'm pointing. Oh, yes, there might be, I think. This was what Carol posted of me in the hi-fi shop. And I had a hi-fi shop about 10 years ago, I think, was when I had hair. Now, look at that fella there. Wait a minute. There's too much reflection, you see. Far too much reflection. You can, yeah, can't see that. Can you? No, never mind. They were in my dapper days when I had obviously plenty of hair. Still playing football stupidly. Well, never could play football, but never mind. Right then, everybody, let's go back and mark round number 3. Put you out your misery. I'm sure the Naidos have done a lot better on this round. Come on, Claire. I'm sure you've got all these. So question number 1, we started off in the nursery rhyme. 4 and 20 blackbirds were baked in a pie, of course. Pie. Number 2, what one word connects the flavour of one of the 6 known quarks? Well, what I was after was up. The up quark, which is also a car manufactured by VW. And, of course, the balloons in that film, Up by Pixar, 2009 film. Number 3 was Argentina. Number 4, it's Bonita. Bonnie, her name is actually Bonita in Spanish and Portuguese. Bonita. Well done if you got that. Number 5, of course, is a groove, as in a record groove. Number 6, I was after blue. Number 7, her name was Jessie, the cowgirl in the Toy Story films. Number 8, of course, Patrick was a star because he was a starfish, I suppose. He's got to be star-shaped, doesn't he, really? Number 9, Chris Evans went to Virgin Radio. And, of course, The Connection. They're all Madonna hits. We've got True Blue, American Pie, Hung Up, Isla Bonita, Don't Cry For Me, Argentina, Into the Groove, Dear Jessie, Lucky Star, and Like a Virgin. So something to do with Madonna hit singles. All the Whites I Kill Me. Golly, look at that. Oh, that was a good catch by any standards. Right then, we have some scores in. Oliver's in with a 29. Well played, Oliver. Doing quite well tonight. Desperate of Dunchurch, 31. Refound our mojo. Well played, you. Latham House Lockdown, however, after a cracking round, 35 points. Well played, you. Ian Miller on 31. Jen Tracer on 33. We've got the Quizzer Rascals on 36. Mick Roberts has moved on to 33. Michelle's now on 32. We've got Dave and Ann Anderson on 33. Graham and Jane are on 32. We've got Sarah and Russ on 30. PRS are on 35. Pick and Mix are on 33. Carol Green's moved on to 30. Great White coming up on the rail on 34 points. We've got Famous 5 on 31. The Booby Prize girls are doing very well on 28 points. Home Alone 6 storming along with 36 points. Clive, I can understand why he's not putting any jokes in at the moment. He's concentrating too much. Clive and Janet and Teasers on 34 points. We've got Claire on 29 points. Great White, we're going to move again. I'm going to music school in the Middle East. I want to learn, what's that? Guitar. I want to learn the guitar. I want to learn the guitar. Oh dear. Split Difference on 35. Georgie Lambert's on 32, and the Yorkies doing very well indeed. Ian, Harry, and Julie, they're still on their coffee, +8 on that round. 31. Penny saying dismal 6, but lost internet connection halfway through. Well, that's what my excuse is. Well played. And Mike Yates is on 20. Well played, Mike. Tough round for Mike, I think. Not convinced you're a big Madonna fan, are you, Mike? You'll have to let me know. Let me know whether you're a bit right. Bit of chocolate here. Before we start round, Penny's down 23. Sorry. Right. A fantastic score all the same, Penny. Right. Round number 4 is an initial letter link. Again, 10 general knowledge questions. Well, the answer to the final question can be spelt out by rearranging the first letters of the first words in the first 9 answers. So take each of your answers and it will spell you out a word. We'll rearrange them and it will spell out the answer I'm after. And I do give you a little bit more time to work them out at the end of these rounds. You've got limited sound, have you, Mike? Is that because mine's turned down, or is that... let's see. The volume is turned down a bit. Is that any better? Am I any louder? Maybe not. Maybe that was just my speaker rather than my microphone. Right then, question number 1 in this round. Which Latin word meaning may he beware of is used in English to mean a warning or a qualification or exemption? Just a one-word answer I'm after. So which Latin word meaning may he beware of is used in English to mean a warning or a qualification or exemption? Certainly used in legal jargon, that's for sure. These are all general knowledge questions. Mike saying, not your problem. I'm having to do 2 things at once tonight. Yes, Great White, these are just general knowledge questions again. A bit of Latin to start you off, that Latin word for warning. Question number 2. In 1980, Indra Gandhi became the first female Prime Minister of which country? Come on, I'm sure we can have a good guess at that one, even if you don't know it. So in 1980, Indra Gandhi became the first female Prime Minister of which country? Question number 3. Still a killer today, actually. There's consumption and the Great White Plague are names that have been used in history for which infectious disease? I think it's made a bit of a comeback, actually. Not that that's anything to write home about, but never mind. So consumption and the Great White Plague are names that have been used in history for which infectious disease? That's what I sent me. Nice one, Chloe. Question number 4, listen carefully. Fat Bottom Girl, Shepherd's Hope, and Drunken Hooligan are 3 types of what rather unusually named foodstuffs? So question 4 again. Fat Bottom Girl, Shepherd's Hope, and Drunken Hooligan are 3 types of what rather unusually named foodstuffs? Seen plenty of Drunken Hooligans in my time. But they were just Drunken Hooligans. Question number 5, listen carefully. Known for his violent and unpredictable nature, what was the nickname of the first Tsar of all Russia from 1547 to 1584? So 3-word answer I'm after for that one. So known for his violent and unpredictable nature, what was the nickname of the first Tsar of all Russia from 1547 to 1584? He was pretty nasty bit of work, really. Killed his own son one time in a fit of rage. Question number 6 for all you that are interested in the stock market. On the stock exchange, what type of animal is used to refer to an investor who may attempt to profit from a decline in stock prices? Oh, nice one, Faye. I was going to post a witty, hilarious, and intelligent joke about time travelling, but you guys didn't like it. That's actually quite funny. Well done, Faye. Behind her eyes. Did you watch that thing Behind Her Eyes? Is it, Faye? Only how many episodes? It's about 4 or 5 episodes, wasn't it? Did a bit of astral projection, which made it a bit weird at the end. It wasn't a bad series, but it got a bit weird. Behind Her Eyes, right? Question number 7, listen carefully, one word answer. When Leicester City won the English Premier League title in 2016, which London-based team finished second? Not many there to choose from, I suppose. So when Leicester City won the English Premier League title in 2016, in the 2016 season, which London-based team finished second? Oh, Fire saying she's not seen that. It was Behind Her Eyes, wasn't it? Was it on Netflix or was it on BBC? I think it was on Netflix, Fire, unfortunately, but never mind. But yeah, Behind Her Eyes. Good series, that. It got a bit weird at the end, you know, just when you thought you were sorting it out, it got a bit weird. Not the worst we've seen recently. What was that other one we saw that was dreadful? Finding Alice. Has anybody watched Finding Alice and found that it was actually any good? Question number 8. The title character in which 1933 film is taken from his home in Skull Island and presented to a Broadway theatre audience as the 8th wonder of the world. So question 8 again. The title character in which 1933 film is taken from his home in Skull Island and presented to a Broadway theatre audience as the 8th wonder of the world. Question number 9. What was the name of the Soviet space dog who was the first animal to orbit the Earth? I don't think they got him back down again, but never mind. It was all in the course of science, I suppose. So what was the name of the Soviet space dog who was the first animal to orbit the Earth? And finally, question number 10 now. Just take the first letters of each of your answers. You need to rearrange them to spell this word. So the first letters of the first words in the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell what internet term, which was added to the OED in 2016 and refers to a particular type of online content. So question 10 again. The first letters of the first words in the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell what internet term, which was added to the Oxford English Dictionary in 2016 and refers to a particular type of online content. Now then, you can work that out, which is not easy, not an easy word. You might well be able to work out the previous answers. I will give you a minute to try and work that one out because that's a bit tricky. How are we doing with that, everybody? Was that a bit tough? Don't know. There are various items on our screen, as you can see, that may be construed as this word that I'm after. So look around the screen and you might find one of these things. And that's the name of it, surprisingly. Mind you, they don't have to put some rubbish in the LED these days, I suppose. English language, was it? Now, going back to TV things, what did we watch the other day? It was all right. Did anybody watch the Valhalla Murders? That seems okay. A bit hard going because, of course, we've got subtitles, but that seems to be a decent series. How are we all doing, everybody? Does anybody need a bit more time? How are you doing, Ed? You got something? Still good. For all you that do the quiz regularly, we're doing a quiz, of course. I will give you a bit more time, Martin, and great one. No problem. Just keep working on it so we can get your 9 answers rearranged. And remember, it's a one-word answer. Resident Alien is a very funny show. No, never seen that. Claire's watching Younger. You seen Snowpiercer? It's a Sin is good, but sad. Yeah. No, I'll have to have a look at that. There's always plenty to watch somewhere. If you know what to look at. What was a bit bizarre last night, Matthew? Well, I'm just talking to Matthew for PRS. I said to Ange, my son had said, you ought to watch The Bridge. He said, it's great, but it's in subtitles, you see. So I started watching it, only for 5 minutes, to be fair. And it was American. It wasn't in subtitles at all. And then I said to Ange, I said, this can't be the version he was after. And then I switched on and found another version of The Bridge, which was in subtitles in Sweden. And exactly the same storyline. It started off with exactly the same thing, some guy dumping a body on a bridge. So I thought, after switching the lights off with his watch, managed to switch the lights off on the bridge with his watch. I thought, oh, fair enough. Resident Alien is good. Oh, right, we'll have to have a look at Resident Alien. We'll have to have a look at that. Right then, everybody, is it time or do we still need a bit more time? Martin, quickly, if you need a bit more time, just shove it down in the chat column. If not, we'll crack on and we'll do some marking after that round. It wasn't the easiest round. Although the general knowledge wasn't too hard, the link was perhaps a bit tough. What am I going to grandchildren? What kind of dinosaur is always quick to arrive? One for the grandchildren. What kind of dinosaur is always quick to arrive? A Brontosaurus. 0, cool. The British version is called the Tunnel. Not the same thing, but there's not 3 versions of it, is there? Right then, everybody, here we go. Let's get marking with, as I say, 10 questions on general knowledge. We started off, the Latin word I was after, meaning may he be aware of, is often used in legal parlance. It's a caveat, as in caveat emptor or something like that. Number 2, of course, Indra Gandhi became Prime Minister of India in 1980. Consumption is also known as tuberculosis. That's how we know it. Number 4, fat bottom girl, shepherd's hope and drunken hooligan are all types of cheeses. Number 5, of course, the violent, unpredictable first Tsar of Russia was known as Ivan the Terrible. Ivan the Terrible. Number 6, the type of animal that's used to refer to an investor who attempts to profit from a decline in the stock market is a bear as opposed to a bull. Number 7, when Leicester City won the league, it was Arsenal that was second, basically, Arsenal. Number 8, of course, was King Kong, who was taken from his home in Skull Island. Number 9, the dog that orbited the Earth was called Laika the dog. And finally, if you rearranged those previous 9 letters, you should have ended up with a word called clickbait. Clickbait. Clickbait are these little bits on the screen, such as the subscribe button, where they tempt people to click the button. It's called clickbait, apparently, which I hadn't really come across before, but never mind until I did the quiz. But there we have it. So clickbait was the answer. So well done if you got that. Right, we've got some scores coming in. We've got Clive and Janet and the teasers on fantastic 44 points with PRS just ahead of them on 45 points. Well played, PRS. George and Emma and the Yorkies, they're on 40 points. We've got Great White on 43. Graham Gifts coming in with 42. So Graham and Jan are doing very well. Mitchell and Charlie on 42 points. We've got Mike Yates on his own on 28 points. Famous 5 have moved on to 41 points. We've got Sarah and Russ and James and Joe, I think, tonight on 37 points. We've got the Boom Rise Girls also on 37 points. Desperate of Dunchurch doing very well on 38 points. We've got Jed and Tracy on 41. Ian Miller's on 37. We've got the Premier League. What's that? Dave Emerson Premier League 2016. I don't know. Home Alone 6 on 46 points. Pick a Mix on 42. We've got Carol Green on 39. We've got Penny Graham on 30. Mick Robertson on 41. We've got Claire now doing very well. Claire on 36 points. Paula Flynn and the Quizzy Rascals are also on 46 points. We've got Latham House Lockdown on 43 at 35 and then on 45. 10 remarkable points in the matter of a second. Split the difference on 44. We got Harry, Julian, Ian and his Buffalo Shiraz on 39 points. Still very good tonight. So we've got a number of teams, 45s, 46s, 44s, anywhere in the 40s. Actually, you're doing remarkably well after 4 rounds. So we're doing very well tonight. There's still 2 teams that haven't got to a point yet. So that's fantastic. Now, TV and films. It's not as hard as it sounds. Most people will have heard these films or TV shows. So let's see how we do. Latham House Lockdown. Sorry, no Madonna, but can't count. All right, okay. Here we go then. Question number 1, round number 5. Are we ready? TV and films. Which 1970s sitcom relates the joys and miseries of a normal couple who attempt to become totally self-sufficient at their home in Surbiton? So which 1970s TV sitcom relates the joys and miseries of a normal couple who attempt to become totally self-sufficient at their home in Surbiton? Apparently it ranks as number 9 in the overall rankings of British sitcoms, apparently, but never mind. It's only something I read on Wikipedia, not that probably means anything, but never mind. Question number 2. Listen carefully. Rear of the year? Oh, yes, possibly, Martin. Which British actor played WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange in a 2013 film, The Fifth Estate? He also played Alan Turing in The Imitation Game, which earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. Yes, congratulations, Martin. Was that rear of the year question mark, or was it rear of the year? Yeah, I understand. So which British actor played WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange in a 2013 film, The Fifth Estate? He also played Alan Turing in The Imitation Game, which earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. Yeah, that's what I thought you were after, Martin. You certainly shouldn't be saying things like that to your beautiful wife next to you, I'm sure. Slap you around the ear hole if you're not careful, Martin. Question number 3. Which of the following is not the title of a documentary series narrated by David Attenborough? So it's the one that's not a series. I'll give you the choice. Is it A Perfect Planet, The Green Planet, or The Frozen Planet? So which of the following is not the title of a documentary series narrated by David Attenborough? I'll give you the choice. Is it A Perfect Planet, The Green Planet, or The Frozen Planet? did you? My daughter's looking very tired over there. She's giving it a good stretch and a yawn. It's almost as if her dad's quiz is that boring. She's falling asleep. What? Oh, it is. What? Oh, she's been working too hard today, apparently. Who else has been working very hard today and feels worn out? I can't believe it, surely. Question number 4. The famous Bristolian David Prowse, who died in 2020, became famous for playing which character in the original Star Wars trilogy? Yeah, Chris is feeling knackered as well. Well, that's your dodgy knee, Chris. See, it's all that lifting bricks and doing. Proper worn out, said Faith. So Faye's worn out, Chris is worn out, Lydia's worn out. Question number 4 again. The famous Bristolian David Prowse, who died in 2020, became famous for playing which character in the original Star Wars trilogy? Ian's worn out as well. Jackie Skip, she's worn out. Goodness gracious me. Never mind. I'm glad I can get you all relaxed, you know, by getting the grey matter going, wearing you out even more, doing a good quiz. Never mind, relax with a bottle of beer in one hand or whatever else. Nice glass of wine, that's what you need. Take nothing too seriously. Question number 5, listen carefully. An episode of Doctor Who, broadcast on New Year's Day in 2021, revealed which stand-up comedian to be the Doctor's new companion. And it's not Peter Kay, just in case you're thinking. So, an episode of Doctor Who, broadcast on New Year's Day 2021, revealed which stand-up comedian to be the new Doctor's companion, or the Doctor's new companion even. I think you're right, Ian. Trouble, go to bed and then you can't sleep. That's exactly the same. We've been finding it very difficult sleeping here, I have to say, but never mind. Seems that lockdown has brought down sleep deprivation as well. The only beauty of that, well, you can stay in bed a bit longer in the morning. Well, some of us can. Question number 6. I had to look this one up just to make sure it was right. I was doubting my own sagacity, but never mind. Question number 6. What type of animal is surrounded by a ring of film on the logo of the film studio Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer? So question 6 again. What type of animal is surrounded by a ring of film on the logo of the film studio Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer? What's Roy put? Roy said, I met a Dalek the other day who claimed he was from Devon. I asked him whereabouts, pal. He said, exterminate, exit, mate, exit. Oh, that's very clever. Well done, Roy. Penny is saying yes, and then wake up so late. You're right, Penny. Can't get to sleep. You have to look at your phone. That's probably because I look at my phone too much at night. That's the problem. Question number 7. Who played Clark Kent, the undercover reporter, in the 1974 film Superman, alongside Margaret Kidder as Lois Lane? So question 7 again. Who played Clark Kent, the undercover reporter, in the 1974 film Superman, alongside Margaret Kidder as Lois Lane? He was a good Superman by any standards, wasn't he? Question number 8, I'm sure you'll all know this one. What is an online digital video subscription service operating as a joint venture of the BBC and ITV, serving the United Kingdom, United States, Canada and Australia, with an up-and-coming launch due in South Africa? Surprisingly, we haven't managed to get into China, but never mind. So what is an online digital video subscription service operating as a joint venture? The BBC and ITV, it serves the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada and Australia, with an up-and-coming launch due in South Africa. That's Faye said. Crispy duck kettle chips for tonight's snack. That sounds very nice. That does sound very nice. Well, we had a picnic for lunch, sat in the car whilst it was blowing a hoolie outside. We watched the ducks and we had a nice little picnic. And then tonight we've had some, what did we have tonight, Ange? Chilli. We had some chilli, which was very nice. Question number 9, listen carefully. Which 1970s TV sitcom had a title that was a reference to both the traditional breakfast once served in British prisons and an old British slang term for a prison sentence? So it's connected to prisons, basically. So which 1970s TV sitcom had a title that was a reference to both the traditional breakfast once served in British prisons and an old British slang term for a prison sentence? Ian's just said, to your crispy duck kettle chips phase, just said, that's just quackers. Oh dear, dear, dear. They do sound very upmarket. Crispy duck kettle chips. We had jalapeno. Whose crisps were that? I weren't kettle. Burt's. I think we had some jalapeno Burt's crisps for lunch. Very nice. And finally, question number 10 in this dead easy TV and films round. What 1974 film was the only Disney movie to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar when Walt Disney was alive? Shortly after he died, of course. So what 1964 film was the only Disney movie to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar when Walt Disney was alive? Think what you were doing in 1964. Well, that's if you can think back that far, of course. Tokyo Olympics, 1964. 1964. What else happened in 1964? Somebody got assassinated in 1964. Right then, everybody, that's the end of that round. That were just 10 general knowledge questions on TV and film. I hope you've done pretty well on that round. Nothing too testing there, especially if you've got a good range of age in your team, of course, which isn't always easy on these quizzes, I have to say. We often used to get the odd quiz team come in the pub on a Sunday night that were youthful but very clearly very knowledgeable. They're all at college or university or something, and they'd do very well, especially on the music rounds, anything up to date. But when it came to anything a little bit older, it used to hit them hard, unfortunately, but never mind. Right then, let's just go through the TV and films round and see how we have all fared. So, question number 1, the 1970s sitcom that relates to the joys and miseries of a normal couple who attempt to become totally self-sufficient at their home in Surbiton. That was known as The Good Life, with Tom Good, and obviously Felicity Kendall played Mrs. Good, whatever her name was, I can't remember. Not Barbara. Barbara was next door neighbour. Anyway, question number 2, British actor that played WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. He was also nominated for Best Actor Oscar for his portrayal of Alan Turing in The Imitation Games was Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch, so well done if you got that. Number 3, the one that was not a title of the documentary series was The Green Planet. There is no such thing as The Green Planet. I think he did The Blue Planet, of course, didn't he? Number 4, the Bristolian David Prowse was better known as playing Darth Vader. Number 5 was John Bishop, apparently. He has become, or will become, Doctor Who's new companion. Number 6, I Was After a Lion. Number 7 was Christopher Reeve, who played Clark Kent. Number 8, of course, that subscription service is better known as BritBox, and pretty good value at £5 a month, if you can get it at £5 a month. Number 9 was Porridge, of course, the TV series. And finally, number 10, it was Mary Poppins, that film that was nominated for a Best Picture Oscar when Walt Disney was still alive. So Mary Poppins, well done. Oh, Barbara was his wife. I said Barbara, it's all right. Margot was next door, of course. Margot and Jerry. Well done, Jackie. Thanks for that. So let's have some scores in, see how we're all fared after that round. So Jed and Tracy have moved on to 51. Sarah, Russ, James and Joe on 46. We've got Ian Miller on 44. The Desperate of Dunchurch on 45 points. Great White have moved on to a very confident 50 points. PRS are now on 54. We've got Harry, Julian, Ian and Shiraz plus 10 on a fantastic 49 points. Graham and Jane Gifford on 51 points. Dave and Ann Anderson on 46. We've got Pick and Mix on 51. Georgie Lambert and the Yorkies on 49 points. They're going some tonight. Paula Flynn Lewis and the Quiz Rascals on 55. We've got the Teasers on 44. The Famous Five have moved on to 49. We've got Penny Graham moved on to 37. Carol Green's on 48. Misha and Charlie on 50. Mick Roberts on 49. The Booby Prize Girls, very good score on 45. Ollie Williams is on 40. You don't mind me calling you Ollie, do you, Oliver? Oliver Williams on 41. Personal best. Latham House Lockdown on 54 points. Doing really well there. So we got... we've also got Clive and Janet and the Teasers on 54 points. So at 54. Home Alone 6 are on 54 points. So it looks as if at the moment we've got the Quiz Rascals in the lead on 55. PRS, and we've got a number of teams chasing them. We've got Home Alone 6 on 54, Clive and Janet on 54, and Latham House Lockdown on 54. Split the Difference are also on 54. With Claire Naidoo, she's putting her hands over her head. But never mind, Claire. Very good score to start you off on 43 points. Never easy when you start a quiz. You know what rounds are coming up now. Round number 6 is general trivia. These are just 10 general knowledge questions, a little bit more in the way of trivia rather than anything serious. So it's just a spread of general rubbish that you've got to know. But here we go then. Question number 1. Listen carefully to this. According to the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 18. I probably shouldn't have given that away. How many people were aboard Noah's Ark at the time of the Great Flood? So according to the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 18, how many people were aboard Noah's Ark at the time of the Great Flood? What's that? Not talking about animals, talking about people. Question number 2. What rather appropriate symbols does Popeye have tattooed on both his forearms? Not that I've got one. I nearly had one actually, but I didn't. I managed to avoid it in Singapore when my mate got one. We ran out of time. We had to get back to the ship. So I never got a tattoo and I still haven't got one. All these years later. So I managed to escape, thank God. So question 2 again. What rather appropriate symbols does Popeye have tattooed on both his forearms? Question number 3. Of the current total of 69 cities in the United Kingdom, which one of these lies furthest east? I'll give you the choice. Is it Norwich, Chelmsford or Canterbury? There's a good question for you, isn't it? So of the current total of 69 cities in the United Kingdom, which one of these lies furthest east? I'll give you the choice. Is it Norwich, Chelmsford or Canterbury? So if we do come out of lockdown, an interesting question, how many of you, that is the ones that are still at work, how many of you are going to carry on working from home? Well, certainly in the short term. Or are you all raring to get back and work in an office with everybody else again? Don't know. I think my daughter's going to carry on working at home, aren't you? Yeah, my daughter's still carrying on working from home, apparently. There's a number of companies that shut their head offices and they're all going to work from home. Yeah, Paula's just saying I work from home anyway, so no change for me. Lydia's started working from home and apparently she's going to carry on working from home. It's quite interesting. Right then, question number 4, listen carefully. What is the background colour of the majority of the UK's motorway signs? So question 4 again, what is the background colour of the majority of the United Kingdom's motorway signs? PRS. This must be Matthew. I've been in the office throughout. Well, a very important job, Matthew, you know. Yeah. Clearly you've got to keep the office going, heating and whatever else. Jackie's saying, already back in the office part-time and also at the vaccination centre. Oh, fantastic. Are you helping out with all the jabs then, are you, Jackie? Need to get mine done. I haven't had mine done yet. Just put a word in, will you? Let's see what Wait a minute. Chris says, I can't work from home. My arms are not long enough. Well, you can build a wall at home, can't you? BRS, that's what I tell them. Claire's mostly been in the office. All right. Question number 5. Question number 5. Listen carefully. An ophidiophobic person has a morbid and irrational fear of which creatures? You might like to see this spelt, but the word is an ophidiophobic person has a morbid and irrational fear of which creatures? Lydia will put it in the chat so you'll be able to see it. It does appear that spell check and most dictionaries don't recognise an adjective of the most proper nouns, if you know what I mean. Anything with phobia on the end, if you turn it to phobic, it doesn't like it. Jackie's just saying, ha ha, no, they don't give me needles. I just talk to people there. Come on, Jackie, get a start. Give them a good old bit of needle. Don't give me needles. Done well tonight. The YouTube police left you alone. Yes, they have actually. Well, then we haven't had any silly words in the chat column, have we? There's no pussy tonight. There's no. What were the words that we had recently, Lydia? Blast, bombs. I can't remember. There's a few key words that certainly YouTube doesn't like at all. But never mind. Try and steer clear of them, Ian. Now, see, that's come straight up, hasn't it? Yes. Let's see whether you can be a bit ruder and see whether it's stop it coming up. No, you needn't bother, Ian. We don't need any of that. You have noticed, Martin, that I have tried hard to stay clear of anything to do with Uranus recently, as there are no more questions to ask, to be fair. Right then, question number 6. This is one for you to work out. Now, don't use your calculators. Just get a bit of paper and work it out. How many square inches would you find in a square yard? So how many square inches would you find in a square yard? Now, of course, you've got to know how many inches there are in a yard. And I know for the Yorkies that might be a bit tricky because you're going back a little bit. But never mind. So when you can work out, a bit of paper, and only take, I reckon, 20 seconds at best. If you're Roy Job, you'll have that in your head. You won't even have to think about it. Bang, be straight out there. Clive Shaw, he'll know that. Bang. Next, look at that. See, Miller's worked that straight out. Oh, Ken's got it straight away. Right. Question number 7. What term of endearment is also the name of a river in Australia and the name of a former Chancellor of the Exchequer? No, I haven't, he said. I thought you'd have that straight away. In next, I thought you'd tell him to move on quickly. So question 7 again. What term of endearment is also the name of a river in Australia and the name of a former Chancellor of the Exchequer? Well, surname of a former Chancellor of the Exchequer. Yeah, need to change that to surname. Right, we've only got three questions to go. This could be, so stay in there because there might be one that will slip. You might slip up yet. Question number 8. Originally a Swiss delicacy of melted cheese in a pot over a heated fire, what dish has a name that is derived from the French for to melt? So question 8 again. Originally a Swiss delicacy of melted cheese in a pot over a heated fire, what dish has a name that is derived from the French for to melt? Very nice too, not that I've had one for years. Used to have one of those, didn't we, at one time? Yeah, I think I lent it somebody. We never got it back, but never mind. Question number 9. There might be one team that know this straight away because I lived there. The mathematical bridge was designed by William Etheridge and built by James Essex in 1749. And the current version spans which city's river? So question number 9 again. The mathematical bridge was designed by William Etheridge and built by James Essex in 1749. The current version spans which city's river? I think it's in its third. I think it's the third time it's been built actually, but never mind. Wasn't very mathematically. It kept falling down. No, no, that's not fair. It just rotted away, I think. And finally, question number 10, just to put you out of misery, which cocktail made from vodka, Galliano, and orange allegedly got its name because it was invented for an American surfer who constantly got so drunk he kept crashing into things? So which cocktail made with vodka, Galliano, and orange allegedly got its name because it was invented for an American surfer who constantly got so drunk he kept crashing into things? I can't believe somebody would get that drunk so that they ever crashed into things. Good Lord. God, drunkenness. My mother always warned me about people that drank too much. Right then, those were your 10 questions, the previous 10. So let's hope that you've got 10 good answers. Robin says, I've seen you on Saturday night. Thanks, Robin. Be nice to see you again after this, at least. We won't have to chat online all the time. And have a little bit of witty banter at the bar, I suppose, but never mind. No sooner had the government decided that lockdown for pubs, gardens, especially those with the garden, was going to end on, when is it, April the, whenever it is. When was it? April the 18th, whenever it was. Then I had Roger, the window cleaner. This is for people in Rugby that know Roger the window cleaner. He's well known around our parts. Roger the window cleaner ringing me up straight away, asking me when the pub was going to open, what hours, how many people were allowed in the garden, whether he could stay there all day drinking. Dear God. There was me thinking, we haven't really talked about it yet, let alone know exactly what's going on. Right then, everybody, let's put you out your misery and see how we've all fared in this last round. I think there's going to be some great results tonight. So question 1, according to the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 18, how many people were aboard Noah's Ark at the time of the Great Flood? Well, there's Noah, and of course, and his wife. There was 3 sons and their 3 wives. So there were 8 of them. 8 people were on the Ark at the time of the Great Flood, apparently. Number 2, of course, Popeye has anchors on both of his forearms. Number 3, the city which is furthest east is Norwich, apparently. It's further east than Chelmsford and Canterbury. And number 4, the background colour of the majority of UK motorway signs is blue. An ophidophobic person has a morbid fear of snakes. How many square inches would you find in a square yard? Well, there's 36, 36, 36 times 36, which apparently is 1,296 square inches in a square yard. Question number 7. What term of endearment is also the name of a river in Australia? I was after Darling, of course, as in Alistair Darling, the former Chancellor of the Exchequer. Number 8 was a fondue, from the French to melt. Number 9, I was after Cambridge. The mathematical bridge, of course, designed by William Etheridge, stands on the River Cam in Cambridge. It straddles the River Cam, should I say. And finally, the cocktail I was after was a Harvey Wallbanger. A Harvey Wallbanger, apparently the American surfer who constantly got so drunk he kept crashing into things. It was named a Harvey Wallbanger, which apparently is vodka, Galliano and orange. So well done if you got that, because that was a bit tricky, though you might have thought of it. Anyway, there we have it. So that's the quiz tonight. So let's get some scores in, see how we've all done, and we'll go from there. Right, we have Jed and Tracy on 61 points. The Quizzy Rascals, I can't be right on 54. It's going to be 64 points, Paula. Georgie Lambert on 57. Well played, the Yorkies. PRS on 64 points. Michelle and Charlie on 57. The famous 5. John and... what am I looking at? I'm looking ahead of myself there. Well done, John and the gang on 57 points. Dave Anderson's on 51. Pick a Mix end up on 60 points. Well played. Desperate Dunchurch on 53. A fine first effort. Well played for you joining Martin. If you want to join a Duff team, Martin and no, just leave Martin at home. So, oh no, you are at home. Well played, Martin. Anyway, 53 points. Ian Miller's on 50. We've got the Teasers, 64 points. Well played, the Teasers. Leslie Barrett saying, lockdown has rotted my brain. Well, you haven't put a score on there, Leslie. Never mind. You're playing very well. And you're on your own a lot of the time. You don't tend to join in with other teams to give you a bit of help. It's not easy when you're on your own. Sarah and Russ and James and Joe and won 53 points. We've got Carol saying, hooray. She got a 10 on that, 58 points. Oliver Williams, he's saying, great. Well, it was great. 46 for a first effort. Well done, Ollie. I think, do you mind me calling you Ollie? I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Do see whether you can get somebody else to come and join you, Oliver, because it's not easy on your own. And if you've got a couple more people in the team, it's always good to bounce ideas or whatever else. And sometimes there's clues in the question that you've missed. We've got the Latham Lockdown. Latham House Lockdown, 62 points. That's great. Graham and Jane ended up on 60 points. They're saying thanks for the Cambridge question. Yes, fair enough. Penny Graham on 45. Mike Yates 40. Should have been the team back on Sunday. Should have the team back on Sunday. That's what I like to see, Mike. Let's see how you fare on Monday night. Jackie Skip and the Booby Prize girls, they've ended up with 50 points. Well played, Jackie. Mick Roberts, 58 points. That's a great score. Mick and Ben. Leslie Barrett, Brian, thanks for the quizzes. Chris Mead, split the difference on 64. The Quizzy Rascals end up on 64 points. Home Alone 6 on 64 points. Ian and his bottle of Shiraz end up on 59. So let me just go through some of these scores. If I'm not mistaken, we have Home Alone 6 on 64 points. We have the Quizzy Rascals, 64 points. Split the difference on 64 points. We have the Teasers on 64 points. We have PRS on 64 points. So it looks like tonight we have 5 joint leaders. So well played, everybody. I think it's been the closest we've ever had. And certainly well played to those teams that managed to catch up at the end there, because there were a few just lagging 1 point behind. The Quizzy Rascals were ahead right to my toe that last round. So well played the Quizzy Rascals as usual. Well played PRS, split the difference. In fact, who else did I say? Home Alone 6 done fantastic tonight. So and the Teasers, of course. So we've had some very good scores. Latham House Lockdown, very good with the 62s. In fact, anybody up in the 60s or 59s or 58s have done very well tonight. So thanks, everybody, for taking part. Do remember, I will be doing a quiz on Sunday night. We'll try and make it some good fun on Sunday night. We'll be live from 8 for 8:15 start. That's kind of usual. Try and keep it at that. And 6 rounds of some fun. And do feel free to come and join us on Sunday. Obviously, we have more teams on a Sunday. Well, to be fair, though, we've had 65, 66. So that's probably a Wednesday night record for a while. And Sunday nights have been picking up as well. It appears that we're getting good following at the moment. So do feel free to come and join us. It's been a great and very close competition tonight. So do remember, if you're struggling to find out what all those road markings are in the mud, or muddy markings are, buy yourself a pair of Wayfinders even, those fantastic shoes you could buy in the 60s, which had little imprints of foxes and stoats and badgers on the soles, which helped you know what the hell. Anyway, enough of that waffle. Let's see you all Sunday night. I'm signing off now. So good night, everybody, and thank you very much for taking part. Stay safe, and we'll see you Sunday night. Good night.